Hey guys, it's Cyrissa with Immerse Photography, and today we're going to talk about using an Expodisc on your Nikon camera. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that you already know what white balance is. If you don't, no problem. There's another video here on my YouTube channel that teaches you all about white balance. So go check that out and then come right back here. If you already know what white balance is and you're ready to explore with the Expodisc, this is the video for you. Now, I love these guys. I think that they've been one of the best investments that I've made in my photography. When I was younger, I was making pasta sauce with my mom and I got splashed in the eye with boiling water. As a result, I see color a little differently out of both of my eyes, so I have a really hard time fine-tuning and seeing color. I found that this has really helped me to train my eyes and to see exactly what's in front of me. So they're $100, but I think they're worth every penny. I'm going to recommend that you invest in the 77 millimeter. That means how wide it is. It's just like buying a filter. Now, your lenses are not all going to be that same width, but this is the best one because it's big enough to cover the 70 to 200, the 85, the 50, the 24-70, the 35. It's big enough to cover all of those lenses, and if it's too big, you just hold it in place instead of screwing it onto the end of your lens. So I'm going to recommend the 77 millimeter is the one that you're going to want to invest in. Now, when you're ready to take your photo using the Expodisc, you are going to get all of your other settings on your camera ready to go. So I'm going to get my aperture, my ISO, my shutter speed. I'm going to get everything set, and then I'm ready for my white balance. Now, this is an 810. If you have anything in the 800, the 700 series, most likely you have a WB or your white balance button here on the top. If you have anything like the 7000, you're going to find that white balance button here on the back. And if you don't see it in one of those two places, most likely you're going to have to press your menu button. I know on my old, very old D60, I had to press the menu button and then find the white balance in that menu. It's still there, you just have to find it. So once you've got your white balance button, what you're going to do is you're going to hold it down, and automatically on this little screen right here, you're going to see a lot of different options pop up. And if you spin some of your dials, you're going to see different options. You're going to see A for automatic, and you're going to see some presets. And then you're going to get to the end where you see the K, and that stands for Kelvin if you want to dial in the exact temperature manually. But I'm going to recommend, or actually with the Expodisc, you have to go to Pre, P-R-E. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to preset your camera. So I'm going to go ahead and take my hood off. If you're using one, you're going to want to take it off. Filters are fine, hoods are not. And so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to get my filter white side facing the camera. I want the honeycomb part facing my light. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my white balance button on the back of my camera until the pre is blinking at me. Now that it's blinking, I have about 5 seconds to get my camera setting. So what I'm going to do, and this is key, I'm going to walk over. So when I did all my metering, most likely I was standing here looking at my subject and metering it. When I take my not my light meter reading, when I'm taking my white balance reading, I have to go stand next to my subject and face my light source. So if I was taking a picture of this camera that's in front of me, I would walk right next to the camera, I would spin around, and I would point towards my light source. And what that does is it measures the light that's falling on your subject, not the light that's around your subject. That will make a huge difference. I'm going to show you 2 photos of mine when I was showing someone else at a wedding, exactly what it looks like when you take the photo pointing and it measures what's around your subject, and then the difference when you stand next to your subject and point towards the light source. It's pretty dramatic. So you're going to go stand where your subject is standing, check to make sure it's still blinking pre. Mine isn't. So I'm going to hold down that button again till it's blinking. There we go. I'm going to run over to my subject. I'm going to turn around and face my light and take my photo. Now, the beauty of this is if I look at the top and it says good, I'm literally good to go. My camera is now automatically set for me, and I don't have to think or do anything else about it. So now I'm ready to actually take my photo. Now, in this case, that worked perfectly. Now, let's say I get a reading that says no good. Well, that might mean if you're working in an extreme situation, maybe you've got a backlight situation, or it's, you've started to run out of light and it's pretty dark. In those cases, your camera might say no good, and you just need to either give it a little bit more or a little bit less light and change the angle that you're pointing your camera. So, in review, you get all of your camera settings good to go, your shutter speed, your aperture, your ISO. You get those good to go on your camera. You find your white balance button, you set it to pre, and you hold it down until it's blinking. Once you've done that, you put the white side facing your camera or facing your lens. You run over to your subject, face your light source, take your photo, and if you look and it says good, you are good to go. I hope you found this video review helpful, and give me a thumbs up on my review down here if it did. And if you'd like to find more friendly and accessible photography videos, I would love for you to just I can't talk today, to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the button below. I hope you have a great time exploring white balance, and if you've got questions, just ask. I'd love to help you out. Have a great day, guys.